Cats of SHADOWCLAN, I have returned from the moon pool with my 9 lives, and I'm proud to sit before you as your new leader. Now I must choose a new deputy.
Foxstar's gray gaze swept across the clearing before settling on one cat.
I say these words so StarClan may hear and approve of my choice. Dim Gay will be the new deputy for our clan.
Dim Gay?
Dim Gay?
Dim Gay.
Well, it is Pride Month.
Sorry, typos.
His sharp gaze widening in surprise, Dim Gaze hesitantly stood to give Foxstar a firm nod. Sparkpaw gasped, her mentor? Deputy? Her face instantly filled with excitement.
It would be an honor, Foxstar. I will not disappoint you or the clan.
With a mighty leap, the tomcat made his way to sit beside Foxstar in the deputy's place.
Dim Gaze will send patrols out before dusk. If you are on the night patrol, please keep alert near the RiverClan border. Some rogues have been scented there.
StarClan cursed rogues, he hissed to himself, always intruding on territory that isn't theirs.
The meeting is dismissed.
Foxstar called out with a nod.
So the rogue problem has worsened?
Yes.
He mewed, sounding a bit uncertain as he spoke.
I am unsure what we should do.
We continue to be careful, like we have always been.
The senior Tom told him. Dim Gaze wished he could say more, but in the end, Foxstar's worries were very much valid. The rogues were getting bold.
You rest as much as you can, Foxstar. I can tell you're still tired from your journey.
Right. I'll get some rest now.
The clan had enough healthy warriors to look after the clan while Foxstar rested up.
Hello, you.
The newly made deputy meowed down at his apprentice.
I'm being watched.
What are we doing for training today? Will I be able to go on the patrol? Will patrols come before training?
He didn't respond to his apprentice for a bit, too busy getting his thoughts together.
Dim Gaze, did you hear me?
No.
He replied quickly.
Patrols near the RiverClan border are far too risky for a young apprentice.
Aw.
I'm sure if you ask politely, a warrior will take you and a few other apprentices out to practice hunting.
Okay.
Okay, patrol time.
This patrol will be larger than usual border patrols or hunting groups.
The Tom began.
From what I've heard, this is a larger colony of rogues. We cannot take risks. Littlefoot, Wormwriggle, Addersight, Snowdrop, and Cloversight will go. You will be led by Splitburn. I trust you can handle yourselves. Tread carefully, and return no later than sun high.
He called out to them. Dim Gaze leapt down beside 2 nearby warriors. He addressed Hollyfur and Mousetail.
Alert me when the patrol returns.
Of course.
This better be mighty important to pull me away from the clan like this.
Tortios hiss slashed their claws through a rock to create sparks and flames.
What are you doing?
What? You don't like the game?
What game involves trying to create a forest fire? I haven't time for this nonsense.
He needed to be there for the patrol. Dumb feline.
Oh my god.
What? Huh?
They have turned mole. There's nothing we can do now. Found pelt.
Wait, I am stuck too.
Dude, no. You're turning too. I am getting out of here. No, I am too. We just about got murdered.
Melodypaw stepped forward.
Excuse me, Dim Gaze? Did you send Sparkpaw on that patrol? She wasn't in the apprentice den sleeping.
In that single moment, all of Dim Gaze's current agitation vanished.
Sparkpaw isn't here.
Dim Gaze repeated.
No, we didn't see her after the meeting, and she wasn't sleeping with us in the apprentice's den.
Suddenly, the deputy slammed his paw down on the ground below.
That star-cursed apprentice.
She followed them. He knew she did. He felt mouse-brained to think that Sparkpaw would actually listen to his warning.
Dim Gaze, you're going to give yourself a stroke.
Is there any news of the patrol? Any at all?
They aren't back yet. I'm not sure where they went, but I doubt the rogues did anything. Cats can't murder other cats.
They should have returned by now.
As the other cats chatted amongst themselves, Dim Gaze felt his thoughts grow to be too overwhelming. He ran outside of camp to suck in a deep breath, only to let it out when no familiar scent came about.
Dim Gaze.
He quickly turned with wide eyes.
News? Report?
Firstly, the patrol hasn't returned, but in addition, Sparkpaw fell down a ravine. We found her, though I'm not sure what she was doing alone.
Sparkpaw. The Tom's expression twisted in concern, though he felt his heart calm down a bit. At least they knew where she was.
No, I know what happened.
He sighed sharply.
Sparkpaw followed the patrol when she shouldn't have. Thank you.
Dim Gaze nodded to the duo.
The patrol is here now, though.
Foxstar, dim gaze.
Littlefoot dipped her head.
We encountered the rogues at RiverClan Black Soil, just as you predicted, dim gaze.
I smelt more unfamiliar cats in the area. This might be a problem.
Snowdrop chimed in. Littlefoot nodded to her patrol mate's words.
Have you seen Sparkpaw?
Sparkpaw is safe. She's in a ravine close to camp. I've got some cats checking on her now.
Dim Gaze grunted.
I'll handle the lost apprentice. She is mine, after all.
He murmured to Foxstar. Sparkpaw looked between them and her mentor. Dim Gaze didn't move from his place, nor did his expression change to one of sympathy or worry.
Here, lean on me.
The deputy held his cold, sharp stare.
Bring her up.
Mousetail touched her nose to Sparkpaw's forehead.
We're glad you're safe.
Once at the medicine cat's den, Dim Gaze stopped, letting Mousetail and Hollyfur help Sparkpaw the rest of the way.
What's going on?
Patrol with Foxstar, RiverClan border.
Swag.
Dim Gaze looked at the leaving warriors, his eyes narrowed in underlying hurt. Part of him missed attending dangerous patrols, but as deputy, the clan was now his top priority. Looking utterly exhausted, Dim Gaze slowly entered the medicine cat's den. Sparkpaw awoke. The she-cat noticed her mentor staring down at her in silence with a blank, disappointed look.
Dim gaze?
He didn't seem to respond to that either, his sharp gaze unusually cold and distant as he peered down at her.
Is something wrong?
I cannot tell you how mouse-brained that decision of yours was.
The Tom finally spat out.
You put yourself in danger, but not only that, you threatened the lives of your clanmates as well. What if the other apprentices saw you follow the patrol and decided to as well?
Dim Gaze crouched to Sparkpaw's height, offering a small look of sympathy through his scolding.
And did you even think about what would have happened if you did manage to follow the patrol?
He continued.
You would have been those warriors' burden, or worse, you could have gotten attacked by the rogues.
The deputy tore his gaze away from Sparkpaw as his face scrunched in conflicting emotions.
And can you even imagine what I'd do if I lost you?
Sparkpaw's eyes trailed down to her paws.
I'd be torn to shreds. I cannot lose another apprentice.
Before either of the cats could share another word, the medicine cat, Splotched Tuft, came trotting in with a mouse for her wounded patient. Sparkpaw scented the mouse and looked down at it, murmuring a small thank you before beginning to eat.
She's fine.
Dim Gaze meowed to the medicine cat.
That broken leg might take some time to recover, though...
Splotched Tuft lowered her voice.
What happened?
Dim Gaze ignored her question, simply standing and turning towards the exit of the den.
Thank you for your work, Splotched Tuft. I will send out a patrol to refill your herb supply.
I asked a question, never mind.
Rogues!
Addersight yowled, out of breath.
Foxstar and a few others are there, near our lakeshore border. Melody Paw too, and a dead apprentice.
Dead?
Melody Paw is dead?
No, she's okay. It's another apprentice.
Dear stars.
Dim Gaze stifled another curse.
I think the rogues are going to fight them, so Foxstar wants the injured back here.
The deputy forced himself to stand.
Addersight.
He barked.
Harmony Paw and Skunk Breath, you're coming with me to retrieve some of the fallen. Lead us back to them.
The rogues fled.
Cowards.
Dim Gaze spat. Turning, his dull gaze lit up at the sight of Foxstar.
They're gone. I made sure of it. I was carrying Shawpaw back. We should hold a vigil for them.
Foxstar mewed sadly, nodding back to the apprentice's body in the bushes behind them. Dim Gaze wriggled his way through the crowd, his head held low as he approached the leader. Nodding a greeting to his deputy, Foxstar settled down to sit vigil for the fallen apprentice. Dim Gaze didn't say a word either, only leaning over to lap a few stray drops of blood off Foxstar's cheek before lowering his head beside him.
I hate to bring this up while we're mourning,
Littlefoot interjected.
But we need a plan. The longer this plays out, the more we're at the losing end.
I'm afraid the sooner we fight, the more we risk. But the longer we wait, the more danger we're in.
Dim Gaze agreed with a curt nod. As equally stressed and concerned as Foxstar, Dimgaze quickly padded up to the SHADOWCLAN leader.
I'll be in the medicine cat's den if you need me,
he told him.
Your leg should be well now. Can you try standing?
Sparkpaw tried. The deputy quickly leaned over to assist the young feline, helping her steady her balance.
Good, like that.
He rose to his paws with her. The Tom forced his facial expression to soften up.
Now let's get you some fresh air.
Littlefoot spotted Dimgaze.
We're making steady pace. Harmony Paw has fortified the entrances to each den, while Splotched Tuft is making sure brambles overlay the roofs.
We're almost done with the reinforcements.
Holly Fur meowed.
Good, I'm glad.
The deputy peered back from Holy Fur to Littlefoot.
Holy Fur, the return.
We work as a clan, and when we do, we're unstoppable.
Friendship is magic.
Stay near Harmony Paw and Melody Paw. In case your injury sparks up again, they can be there to aid you.
Can we just train?
Yeah. Wanna help train my
Sure.
Right here is good enough. Close enough to camp, but still far out into the territory.
Your battle moves need some work. I realize I am at fault, although that will change soon.
Okay.
I've taught you some. Show me what you've learned so far.
Wormwriggle blinked, hurrying to set her sticks down in a safe spot.
Loaf is best crouch, or I can just...
What?
How did you teach them to fly?
Sparkpaw leapt at Wormwriggle, prepared to twist in the air if needed. Wormwriggle tripped.
Goodness me.
Sorry, I'm not the best at battle techniques.
Dimgaze, I have news.
Hollyfur.
He mewled.
What is it?
Snowdrop told me to let you know. We're meeting the rogues at Black Soil tonight.
Dimgaze cast a glance back at Sparkpaw and Wormwriggle.
Yes, we'll be done soon. Thank you, Hollyfur.
Numa, you're going to die tonight.
Whoa, chill, lil brother.
I will devour your legs and eyeballs.
Stop it, you're making me look bad.
Standing close to his apprentice, Dimgaze's tail lashed violently behind him, his eyes fixed on the rogues a few paw steps before them.
Step back.
Dimgaze hissed in warning.
Stay back.
Sparkpaw, be careful.
You will be AK-47.
Stop, I am getting gray hairs.
You will not lay a single claw on my apprentice,
the deputy warned Feather. The shock of another rogue alerted Dimgaze to Rook. His sharp eyes grew into slits as he raised a paw without another thought, sending it down along her cheek. He spat at her.
Back off, Kit. This is not a fight for you.
Feather took account of how Dimgaze was distracted and lunged at him, her claws digging into his pelt. A loud yowl tore itself from the Tom's throat at the painful sensation. He used his leaner body to the best of its ability, swinging his back legs around Feather in order to kick her square in the chest. With the given time, Dimgaze rushed to Foxstar's side, his teeth gritting in ever-growing anger. Numa aimed to strike his forepaws with extended claws onto the deputy's back. Just as he was about to launch an attack against Beetleflame, the sudden pain along his back left him stumbling. The cat fell and rolled, and Numa fell with him, his jaws closing around a foreleg. The two tumbled together for a moment, Dimgaze following Numa's movements as to not get his leg torn clean off. Panting hard once freed, the feeling of pain slowly seeped into his every nerve. Dimgaze struggled to stand his right front leg, unable to handle his weight. Just as he raised his paw for another attack, Dimgaze ceased.
Retreat, SHADOWCLAN! Retreat!
Still limping from his wound, the Tom rushed to the fallen warrior's side. The subtle rise and fall of Belly proved that she was still alive, if only barely. He'll take it. Dimgaze hauled the warrior onto his back, carrying her back up the cliff to the rest of their clanmates. They needed to go. StarClan wasn't happy, and neither were the rogues. Once situated back at camp, Dimgaze crouched down to lay Snowdrop in a nest beside Splotched Tuft. Forcing himself to ignore the searing pain in his leg, Dimgaze limped out of the medicine cat's den with a worried scrunch of his nose visible on his face.
Dimgaze, you're all right.
As well as I can be. And you?
My leg hurts like hell, but I'm doing better.
I'm glad you're well.
Dimgaze replied. After the long days SHADOWCLAN went through, clouded by worry and grief, there was a light shining through the dark storm. The clan cats overcame the challenge, winning the battle against the rogues and chasing them out of their territory. Peace was restored once again. They could focus on fostering the next generation, and Dimgaze could look forward to waking up in a happy and well clan. All was good.